Hi, my name is Tamara Cordova. I am Carlo Vivari International Film Festival, and today we're talking about dramatic comedy slash heist film Delinquents by Rodrigo Moreno. I swear Carlo Vivari is the ultimate party fest. It has parties and bars everywhere. Like behind me is a Prosecco bar, and you can see beer booths on the other side of the river, and I don't know, not only Prosecco bars but street bars and wine bars and any kind of alcohol bars that you could imagine. Parties start here very early in the morning. Like for instance, I was passing this place at 10 in the morning when I was going to my screening, and people were already drinking, and it winds down like only at 4 in the morning, even on Monday. And it's really hard not to drink here, but I'm staying strong. Don't worry about me. Although not for long, because actually later in the afternoon I am going to the mayor cocktail party. Yeah, the mayor of Carlo Vivari has her own party too, and tomorrow there is a governor's cocktail party of a governor of the Carlo Vivari region. So it feels like everyone at this festival has to have their own party, and I'm invited to most of them. Awesome, right? But enough about parties. Let's talk about the movie. Delinquents is a dramatic comedy, kind of heist movie, which premiered at Cannes Film Festival in the unthought-of section. It's more experimental section of the festival as opposed to competition, and honestly the better one. My favorite movies, at least, usually are shown in unthought-of section, and Delinquents is not an exception to this rule. I didn't watch it in Cannes though, because it was really hard to fit it in schedule. It's a 3-hour movie, and my schedule was already crazy enough. But as I've told you before in the previous video, Carlo Vivari really knows how to make a really good program for us and for themselves, and they never miss a good movie. So I could actually catch up and watch Delinquents here, and I'm forever grateful to the festival for this opportunity. And here you see the horses too. Poor horses. Okay, so Delinquents is a hard sell. It's a 3-hour movie, and you could call it heist movie, but it actually has the lamest heist in the history of cinema. It really reminded me of Corneliu Porumboiu. Porumboiu is a Romanian director. He's one of my favorites, and one of his favorite instruments is tedium. So it tells the story of Moran, a bank clerk who decides to escape the slavery of capitalism and rob his own bank, like the bank he works at. So he breaks into the vault, but don't expect Ocean's 11 here, because he doesn't have some ingenious plan to break in. He has the keys, and the vault itself looks very worn out. It looks like no one has been taking care of it for forever. So he puts money in the bag and looks right into the eye of the camera, which records his crime. And after that, he meets with his friend from work, Roman. And Roman doesn't know anything about Moran's plans, so he reveals him the plan, which is that Roman has to take care of money and keep it safe, while Moran turns himself in. Yes, he turns himself in. How lame is that, right? And serves 3 years in prison. Roman grudgingly agrees, but the hardest part is yet to come, as they have to deal with consequences of their crime. Roman burdened by guilt and paranoia, and he's coming back to the work next morning, and Moran discovers that prison actually uses the same repressing power structures as the outside world. Delinquents, again, as I've told you, is 3 hours long, and you think like, what can you do with such amount of time with a heist movie? But it actually flows very smoothly, and it entertains us with a very energetic soundtrack and smart editing with witty split screens and this old-fashioned atmosphere of American and French genre movies that were very popular in 70s. And director himself, I think he is trying not to pinpoint the exact era that movie is happening in, but he also doesn't shy away from face masks on the background and smartphones and computers. So ultimately you understand that it's happening in our current times, although I think director tries to keep it as vague as possible. It is very hard to talk about the movie without spoiling it, but I will put it this way. Ultimately, Roman and Moran find freedom not where they were looking at, and also not in the things that they were trying to find it. And this movie just says that our happiness and our freedom is not in things. I think it's remarkable that lots of filmmakers this year are trying to take a stance against the materialistic side of things. For instance, Wim Wenders in Perfect Days, and Aki Kaurismäki in Fallen Leaves, and small indie film here, which was shown at Berlinale, and I actually watched it at Carlo Vivari. And even Matt Johnson's Blackberry, which shows that money destroys even the smartest of people. Of course, it's easy to say, oh, it's so materialistic, money doesn't matter. But yeah, we all have to bust our asses off, providing for our families, working 3 jobs, I don't know, to just afford rent and basic foods, while corporations are gaining even more power and more wealth by drinking our blood, sweat, and tears. But at the same time, Delinquents reminds us that happiness doesn't it doesn't depend on how many cars and houses and, I don't know, yachts you have, and that actually the recipe for happiness and freedom is absolutely different. So I find it inspiring, especially in the movie that is very bleak and depressing most of the time. Hence, I really recommend to watch Delinquents when it comes out in theaters or streaming services. And I really hope you will enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I have to go. I'm already late for my party.